Okay, my name is Stuart Chilcott and I am the Enterprise Risk Manager for Medibank Private.
My name is Penny Williams and I am the CEO for Medibank Private.
I am Tiffany Chilcott and I am the Director for Medibank Private.
Okay, so the purpose of this meeting is to discuss the draft risk management policy and to gain feedback for that policy. The purpose of the draft risk management policy is to ensure that our organisation implements a systematic and proactive approach to risk management in accordance with ISO 31000-2018 policies. The policy establishes the framework for managing risks, including the identification, assessment, treatment and monitoring of risks. The scope is that this policy applies to all departments, functions and activities within our organisation. Item 1 is the overview of the departmental goal. Over the 2024-2025 financial year, Medibank Private Security Department aims to improve data security by 30%. It will achieve this by hiring 2 additional cybersecurity experts, providing ongoing staff training and implementing advanced encryption methods and conducting quarterly audits. Item 2 is to share with the team the top researched risks. They are taken from the global, domestic and internal frontiers. From a global perspective, there is the risk brought about by the global instability caused by conflicts in the Ukraine and the Gaza Strip and the implementation of artificial intelligence. On the domestic frontier are data breaches, compromises of customer accounts, and scams. On the internal front, we face risks from security breaches, i.e. internal leaks, and skill shortages. Now I have to figure out what else I have to do. Okay.
I think based on our meeting today, we need to be looking at what risks there possibly could be to have a data breach. What are the current trends in security and what sort of risks or what are we risking?
Well, I think we're risking our medical records and financial records.
Okay. So our customers' records.
Yes. And our partnerships with other companies, we would have regulatory risks as well.
Okay.
Because we're an insurance company, so we're quite heavily regulated.
Okay. What about our staff risks as well? One of the parts of that was about the internal security issues.
Yes.
Have all of our staff been security checked or police checked?
Oh, yes, exactly. I think one of the things we're going to have to do is to go through our staff and get them to do their police checks and that sort of thing again.
And how often do we need to do those police checks? We could have a staff member do a police check, and the very next day they have breached.
Well, it's difficult to do that from day to day, but maybe we need to set a time frame around how often our staff are police checked. maybe once every 12 months or once every 6 months or something like that.
What do you think?
I think we do need to look at the level of authentication for customers and those calling up. How many levels do we have currently?
Levels of what?
Authentication when they ring. How do we
Determine they are who they say they are.
Well,
just a single authentication?
yes.
We're going to need
whichever.
more.
How are we
Yeah.
doing that? Are we asking them what their date of birth is? Is that what we're doing at the moment?
We usually ask them a personal question.
A security question.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to need more than that. With the breaches for Optus and other
Yeah.
businesses, similar businesses, they have had data breaches with a lot more authentication than just that. We need more than one.
Yes, exactly.
So we might need to be looking into gaining some outside agency help, IT experts perhaps,
Mm-hmm.
to put in a system
Yes.
where the only way that people can get into their data is by receiving a text message perhaps,
Yes.
and having to
Maybe
put
with
in a code,
secure
something
code.
similar to that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What about the idea of artificial intelligence? Have we anything there to stop robots from getting into the data? Robots. That sounds a little bit funny, I know. It's not really robots, but it's usually, computers talking to each other.
Yes.
It's not actual robots
Well,
from Japan. I don't know.
wondering, and I might bring up with the IT department, the notion perhaps of creating an AI system that can combat more malevolent AI systems. But that would take a great deal of time and planning and financial investment.
Could we have, as part of...
I mean, one of the things we have to ask ourselves is, whether or not we just sacrifice the customers' banking accounts.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you're laughing about that. One of the things in your goal is to have employ 2 new staff members. Perhaps maybe those 2 staff members, we need to have a think about what their qualifications are.
Oh, yes. That's
Perhaps in terms of
certainly
IT
something we're thinking about.
expertise
Yes.
that we could use. If we're going to pay for it, we may as well have it in-house rather than external.
Yes, well, we want to poach the best people that we can find.
Do we have a separate department for the security side of things that will deal with things like the threats of AI, authentication, potential hacking? Is it worth having a whole team for this?
No, I think it would be better to have it within either the security risk management department or in IT.
Okay.
What about having one person in each department who is responsible for the security?
Well, in which
Within
case
each
you might as well
department.
just have a security department.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we've thought about some...
Right, this is going. I am definitely going to have your job by the end of the year.
Oh dear. Okay. Have we identified two risks so far? We have identified 2 risks.
Yep.
Where are we going to record
What
those
are they?
risks? Are we taking minutes of this meeting?
No, I can just listen back to it. That's why it's being recorded.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. Oh, all right. So someone will scribe that, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right. So possible impacts. I am just thinking about the way that the policy has been written.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we've come across quite a few risk identifications, and we've thought about
Yep.
how we might deal with those.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the assessment involves prioritising it, and I'm concerned that that is all about who is more important than others, like whose details are more important.
I'm not entirely
think
sure
that's-
if that's what prioritisation means. I think prioritisation
Okay.
means prioritising which risks you focus on more than other risks.
Okay, so it's not about the person, it's about what type of risks.
Yes.
All right, that has been clarified for me, that's good. The likelihood and the impact
Yes.
part of the assessment is, and what I'm concerned about is the impact in terms of the media,
Yes.
and to our branding
Yes.
in the end. If we look at the Optus hack
Mm-hmm.
and how that eventuated, Optus is now in a very difficult situation.
Well, we had our own hack a couple of years ago too, didn't we?
Okay, that was before I was CEO.
Yes.
Okay, so, which takes me to the very end of the policy, where it actually talks about who is responsible for the policy and who is responsible for the security of all the details of our customers. And it actually says that the managers are responsible.
Yeah.
Okay, that's you.
Yeah, and everybody else.
Okay.
I can tell you what.
Well,
I
it doesn't
if
actually
I'm
say
going-
everybody else.
If
so,
I am going down, I am not going down alone. I am taking you people with me.
Okay, so part of the policy actually ends with saying how often it's going to be reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually states that the policy will be reviewed yearly, and I would really like that to be quarterly. So we will have to meet every 3 months. I think that considering...
I was thinking on a daily basis.
Considering how quickly hacking and how much they progress
Yeah.
and how quickly all technology changes,
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it should be at least 3 monthly, and we will look at how we might need to change the policy perhaps, or take actions in a different way.
We could even do it monthly, fortnightly, weekly.
I wouldn't do it I wouldn't do it less than every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
So,
That's all right. We're basically like one of those evil organisations with the white cat.
okay, so there's a question here from the director.
Yeah, Tiff. Been
Um,
awfully quiet.
Are our staff going to be trained in risk management?
Well, Tiffany's supposed to say that, isn't she, if she's the bloody director?
Are our staff going to be trained in the risk management?
Yes.
Okay, so at what point do we need the training to be completed?
We plan to begin that training within the next couple of months, and we want to have it as a 3-month course.
So it's not going to be the end of the financial year?
No.
Okay.
Will the
And-
staff be paid for that training?
it will be part of their job. It will happen while they're on the job. So,
Yes.
yes.
Mhm.
I'd also like to point out that if they fail to pass the training, they will be fired.
I think that's a little bit steep, but we can look into what training programs are necessary for all of that. We might have a union problem if we fired them, I'm pretty sure.
Unions are easy to deal with. You just bribe them enough and they just go away.
Okay, can you please explain how you achieved that level of risk?
What level of risk? Well, that makes no bloody sense.
Okay, I think the policy goes into how we prioritise the risks,
Mm-hmm.
and it also goes into how to treat the risks in terms of trying to avoid it. I think that's what that question is really about.
Yeah, well.
Avoiding it, reducing its impact when it has happened,
Mm-hmm.
and transfer. Now, I was really unclear about what transfer meant, and I think that means looking at outside experts. Am I right?
Yes, would do.
Rather than blame.
Well, if we can blame someone else, it's always preferable.
Well, maybe we have to. We will need a media manager.
Yes,
if that's,
we will.
That's the case, but also accepting certain risks.
Mm-hmm.
I think on all of our policies, we also need to have something written in there about that possible risk
Yes.
of breach of their details.
Yeah. Yes, we do. I mean, we have to accept the fact that we can minimise data breaches, but we can't prevent them entirely.
So we may need to employ our lawyers to write.
I've already done that.
Okay, that's good. So all of our clients now have something that they have signed
Yes.
when they've given over their
we
details.
send it out as our new policy.
Document.
What do you call it? Terms and conditions.
Okay, excellent.
Which is fantastic because nobody really reads terms and conditions anyway, so we can
Well,
pretty much put
we
anything
can put
in
it
there
all
that
in
we
the
want.
fine print, can't we?
Yeah.
Okay, I actually are quite happy with the policy,
Good.
except the very last clause in it, in terms of reviewing it yearly.
Okay.
I am also quite happy, however, I was very unhappy with the lack of grammar in her sentence.
There we go. Task 3. I've done this from Gina. Assessment 1. Well, gee whiz, you took the bloody thing from me and now I'm confused. Undertake risk identification. So we have to decide, is it level 1 tribal anti-heroic, specialist silos, top-down systematic, or risk intelligent? Oh, that has to do with our risk maturity. Item 4 is feedback from the team on identified risks and analysis. Is it extreme, high, moderate, or low? Well, I'm going to put down that at the moment it is a
Moderate
high.
risk.
No, I was going to say it's a high risk, but
Why?
we can get it down to moderate as long as we do what I say.
In which case we train the staff.
Yes.
We place in more authentications.
Yes.
And double check everything.
Yes, that's right.
Get our customers to sign the indemnification.
Yep. I think,
Um,
like you said, quarterly meetings rather than yearly meetings.
And
Yeah.
that as well,
Whatever you said.
definitely.
Yep.
So we can discuss what new ways people are hacking into our systems.
Yeah.
Employ 2 new staff members
Yep.
with IT experience.
Yes.
I think then we can work out ways of protecting all of our data
Preferably
rather than
from
keeping it
Cambridge.
in the cloud,
Yes.
which is
We
not quite so
might
safe.
try to resurrect Alan Turing if we can.
Be a good idea.
Sure.
Item 5 is, so we're all agreed about that.
We're all agreed on that.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Yes?
Item 5 is consult and negotiate suggested treatment strategies.
That's what we've just done.
Good. Yes. I'll tick
So-
that off.
I'm guessing we have finished the agenda. And
Not
our
quite.
meeting
There's
is almost
still
over.
2 more things to do.
Oh,
No.
damn.
Item 6, risk management policy. Seek feedback on attached draft policy. I reckon we've
We
done
already
that.
have.
Yep.
We've discussed that.
Item 7, risk management processes and communication strategies. What is preferred by the team?
I think we need one of those staff members that we employ to be a media
We can have a media
manager.
We can have a media consultant. In fact, we can probably liaise on with the marketing department on
Oh,
that.
absolutely. Have we got a marketing department, have we?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're Medibank Private, of course we do.
Okay.
You're supposed to be the CEO. And that's done.
Okay, have we
I-
finished the
yes.
meeting?
I
Can we
now-
have dinner now?
Close the meeting. I close the meeting.
Thank you very much.